This week on a Munster GA Quarantine Chats, I'm joined by Conor Sweeney. Good morning, Conor. Welcome.
Morning, Valerie. How are things?
Good, flying it. Yeah, things are good. I suppose, first of all, how are you getting on in isolation at the moment?
Yeah, really good actually. I'm after adapting really well. I'm really enjoying it, to be honest with you. Lots of free time. So I'm just getting to do a few bits and pieces around the place that I wouldn't normally have time to do. So can't complain really. So far so good.
Yeah, it's interesting, but since I've spoken to a few players over the last week, it's interesting to know that some of you actually are really enjoying the break, which means probably you didn't get much of a break all those years playing.
No, definitely not. I suppose I came on the senior scene in 2010. So I'd be going in now this is my 10th season essentially. So I've had very little break. I went to San Fran in the summer in 2011, but that was about it. So yeah, it's been fairly full on. So the break has been nice, I must say. It's kind of given you a different view of what things might be like outside of football, which is good as well. And yeah, just really embracing it, trying to make the most of it. Obviously, staying on top of my fitness is one thing, and you can actually kind of use this time as an opportunity more so than anything else, really, to kind of improve on a few bits here and there. But yeah, I must say, really enjoying it so far anyway.
Who are you at home isolating with?
Just myself and my fiance here, so at least I'm not on my own. But I'm living in Clonmel there in the States, so yeah, look, when you're kind of living in a town and in a state, there's a bit of activity around the estate, so it's not, you're not isolated too much. You do meet people outside and stuff like that, so it's not too bad.
I mean, you are tipping away a bit at work. I know that you're a secondary school teacher and you're kind of, I suppose, under a lot of pressure at the moment. You have leaving certs.
Yeah, I've leaving certs, yeah. So, yeah, it's a funny one. It's obviously very strange way to be grading the boys, but listen, they'll get what they deserve at the end of the day anyway. That's the main thing. So there might be seems to be a small bit of pressure on the teachers' side of things, but every student should get what they deserve. There's plenty of work there over the last 2 years, which will indicate how the boys are doing and how they would have likely to have done in the leaving cert. So there's plenty of proof there and plenty of information for us to give our predicted grades. And the bottom line is just to give that reassurance to the boys and the girls that are sitting the leaving cert that they should all get what they deserve anyway. So they shouldn't be under too much pressure from their point of view.
What are you teaching?
Geography at leaving cert level, yeah. So yeah, it's great, nice subject, and yeah, I try and look after the lads as best I can.
Yeah, I know. Look, it's probably not easy, and I know it's not fair for me to be asking you about it either, because I presume a lot of people, your head is probably wrecked from people like, what are you going to give me? And have students been saying, please give me good grades, or?
They actually haven't. I actually haven't received any message like that so far, and but look, they know the story. Like, I mean, like they know how they've been performing over the last couple of years anyway. So I'd say they've as good an idea of what they'll get as anyone else,
How are you finding teaching online? I know you have an online system now at the moment where they log in. Are you finding it strange? Would you prefer to be in the classroom?
It's a little bit strange, yeah. We use Microsoft Teams, which is obviously very good, but to be honest with you, I'd say a lot of people still don't even know how to utilize Microsoft Teams outright. There's so many good things on it, but this all came upon us so quick, we probably didn't have as much time to train for it as we'd like. But listen, we're doing as much as we can. It's not ideal. You definitely prefer to be in the classroom, but listen, we're trying to make the most of a bad situation, so we're doing our bit. And to be fair, most of the lads in our school have responded really well and they're engaging regularly, which is great. And look, if they're doing some bit here and there every day, that's all we can ask for, at this point in time.
Good, great. No, it's brilliant that you find it useful and you're kind of getting to know it better. But you're finding the break from football doing you the world of good. I know you're probably finished training now because of the message we received last week or the week before about no county action till October. So you've stopped the training now completely, Conor.
Yeah, we decided there to, I suppose, like the majority of squads, just to take a break for a few weeks, and we've been keeping on top of things like our fitness and our strength as much as we can over the last number of weeks, and we've been documenting that in our WhatsApp. So we've just decided to take a break from it all, and if lads want to tip weight, a bit of running or cycling or whatever it is they want to do, then they can, but there's no obligation there to link in with any management or anything like that for the foreseeable future, because look, when you've no date for a match, it's very difficult. Like we were scheduled to play first round of the championship last Saturday evening, and I found myself just sitting at home instead of preparing for a match. So like when you've nothing to prepare for, really, it can be difficult, you know. So I think a break is well overdue now at this stage anyway. And like I said, lads will probably tip away at their own a little bit anyway, just to keep the body fat down, you know.
Yeah, I was just going to say, speaking of body fat, it's something we're all struggling with at the moment, I think, because we're just eating our feelings away. But how are you going to stay on top of that? You know, like, have you the space at home to be kicking around, or?
I do have a decent sized back garden. I have a couple of balls. It's essentially just like trying to be creative, I suppose, kicking balls off wall will only get you so far. But just using both legs, trying to improve both legs as best I can. Other than that, it's just I've been doing a lot of running. We got good. There's a bypass here with running tracks and cycling tracks, so I've been utilising them. I have a good bike as well, so you know, cycling is less hard on the body. So probably stick to that more so now over the next few weeks. But listen, it's just about tipping away. It's for the mental health more than anything. Just to get out a bit of fresh air and a bit of exercise, and trying to keep a routine is probably important as well. I'm still getting up at a decent hour every morning, and trying to get the exercise in even before breakfast. And I find, you know, you dress to the day then to do whatever you like. So I'll probably keep doing that for the next few weeks and then see how it goes until I get bored of it.
Yeah, I know. Can you see it returning in October, Conor, especially with social distancing? I don't know, were you watching? I suppose we'd live sport return the weekend. Were you watching the action? Yeah,
I was watching the Bundesliga there yesterday and the day before. Like, it's grand. It's nice to have a bit of live sport back on the television. It's still very weird though, watching the game with no spectators, you know. I remember I watched a couple of soccer matches there previously as well when they had no fans because of, I think they had racial problems there, so there was no fans, and it's just not the same. Now it's probably different for a player. Like, I presume if you'd ask any of the professional players, they'd have no problem playing in a stadium with no crowds because it's their job and they just get on with it. And I'd say a lot of GA players would say the same. They just like to be out in the field and playing, but and at the end of the day, you have a game to go and win regardless of who's in the stand. But I can totally see from a spectator's point of view, it will just be a no-go because, I mean, the atmosphere is what people like. You know, they go to the game for the crack, they go to meet other people, they might go for a few pints even, you know, and when that's all taken away from the whole game scenario, it's totally different. As regards, can I see it come back in October? Personally, I don't think so. I think the GAA are just kind of buying themselves time at the moment, you know, by pushing it out, and they're probably doing the right thing. It's not ideal as a player though. Like, you'd like a bit more clarity. I know John Horn was on the Sunday game there a couple of weeks ago or last week, and you know, while he spoke very well, he didn't really tell us anything we hadn't already known, you know. So we're still kind of up in the air, but I think inter-county teams taking a break now for a few weeks is good. Because let's say all well and good, we're back in October, that's still a good few months down the line, so there'll be plenty of time to, you know, to go back training before that. But no, I can't see anything happening this year now anyway. But listen, things could change in a couple of weeks, Valerie. It's changing from week to week, you know, but we just have to wait and see, I suppose.
What would you like to see happen?
What would I like to see happen? I'd love to see a championship in some shape or form. I mean, if games are to be played, I don't know, will they play the last couple of games of the league? I don't know what they might do there. They might just nullify the league. But I'd love to see a championship, maybe just a straight knockout. That would kind of condense it a small bit, you know. But listen, if it runs too much into the end of this year, I think they said they'd like to start the championship in 2020. And if they finish it in early 21, then so be it. But I think if it goes too late, they might just scrap it, I'd say. But we've put a lot of work in as players, you know, this year so far, you know, pre-season and the league, and the last few weeks we've been working hard, like every team has. So, you know, you'd like some championship in some shape or form. And like, I think if there was a straight knockout, I think, you know, you could get a couple of surprises here and there, and it might be a championship like no other. Which I think might be great for the GA, because, you know, if it's a straight knockout, you could catch one of the top teams maybe, or you could catch a team on an off day, and, you know, you could see a breakthrough team there pull through, and to be great. Like, so yeah, I'd like to see something like that happen if it was possible.
Yeah, no, I think everyone wants to come back, but the right thing to do is probably just let it go, you know. But it's just, there's so many things that could happen. We just don't know what's going to happen over the next few weeks. But I mean, it must be strange from you going. You're probably, you know, as a county player, you're out 5 nights a week between gym and out on the pitch, and you're going now from being in a situation where you're surrounded by 50 or 60 lads to being at home on your own, and it must be very strange.
Yeah, it is strange, and I suppose like when you're in the thick of GA, like your whole week revolves around football, and whether it's your 3 pitch sessions a week, your 2 gym or whatever, like it's 5 out of your 7 days, and even the 2 days you're not probably training, you're thinking about it, or you're trying to recover as best you can. So every day there's football in every part of every day of your week, and when that's kind of taken away from you, yeah, it's totally different. But like personally, I can't get over how well I've adapted to it. Like I thought I'd love to be out in the field. I'd love to be playing games, and I'd love to be in that competitive scenario where you're playing against some of the top teams. But other than that, like I'm happy enough at the moment. Like I'm doing loads around the house that I thought I'd never have time to do, and it's not even that. It's the break mentally from the whole intercounty scene is what's kind of standing to me the biggest. There's just no, like, I wouldn't say pressure, but like I said, when you're in the thick of it, it's just on your head 24/7. It's on your mind. So kind of free of that for the moment, which is good. But like I said, a part of me would love to be out in the field as well, especially this time of the year. Like, when the ground is hard and the weather is good, you just love to be playing competitive matches. So yeah, we'll see where it goes.
What are you, 30 this year? Yeah,
I turned 30 in March there, yeah.
I know the feeling. I'm 30 this year as well, and I'd like to avoid it at all costs, but you can let me know how that's going afterwards too. But before you finished up as players, you did a shave or dye, you did a fundraiser. It's nice to see county teams, getting together doing this. But you did a shave or dye. Yeah,
we did. I'll tell you how it came up actually. Obviously, you're probably well aware of the Dude for Den foundation that was going, and while that was going on, a few of us got together, a few players in management, and we kind of said, we should do something to maybe raise funds for them. And so that was our plan originally, but by the time we had kind of put a plan in place, Dan had actually reached his target, and so we changed things up a little bit then, and we just said we try and raise some funds for a few local charities or organisations, should I say, here in Tip, just to help them out with the whole COVID situation. So we picked 3 charities. We did Seesaw, which is a kind of a suicide awareness organisation in Tip. We did the North Tip Hospice, and we did the South Tipperary General Hospital, which is the major hospital here in Clonmel. So we decided we'd do shave or dye or mow. And yeah, look, it was a bit of crack, Valerie, if nothing else. We hit our target. Look, it was 15,000. Like, we know it's not it's not life-changing money or anything like that, but look, it'll go towards helping those 3 organisations in some shape or form. But it was great crack. Like, if nothing else, you really got the squad kind of communicating with one another, and you'd find, you were texting lads there, what are you doing? I'm going to do this or whatever. It's kind of contact that might have been just dwindled a small bit since we finished up, so that was nice. And it was a bit of crack, and it turned out a great success. So happy enough now with how it all went. So
fair play to you. It is a lot of money. Like, it is, it's changing to those charities, and there was some questionable looking haircuts and hairstyles going around on Twitter there. People
There was some desperate hairstyles. Like, it's 3 weeks on now. Like, I'm getting a bit of growth back in mine, which isn't too bad. But even I didn't go that short because, I had a bad short haircut when I was younger, Valerie. It was woeful. But I'm after growing into my ears a small bit these days, so I'm not too bad. But yeah, there was some wicked bad haircuts there. But sure, listen, it was all for a good cause. And listen, just while we're on the topic, there's a couple of people I just love to thank. Lisa Stapleton there and Endo Sullivan, they were in charge of our social media platforms, and they were putting in all the hard work updating the social media platforms on a daily basis. And Joe Bracken, our PRO, so the 3 of those were heavily involved, and without him it just wouldn't have went off as well as it did. So I'd like to say thanks to them, and look to all the players and management as well. It was just a fantastic occasion, and just glad it went off so well.
No, fair play to you, and well done on doing it again. But speaking of your teammates, we're going to have a bit of crack now. It's now time for you to dog them all in it. Soon this bring it on. Okay. So who would be the dressing room DJ? We'll start light.
Emmett Maloney. He likes to think he's good choice of music, but it's absolutely terrible. My mother called it milk and parlour music. There's just no words. It's all beats, and It's atrocious stuff. Yeah,
He
he'd like to think
fancies
it's
himself
detail.
as a bit of tiesto, so does he?
Yeah, all that kind of stuff.
Who would be the fastest when you're at training?
Oh wow, I could name quite a few. The fastest. Jack Kennedy has been doing some serious times in his 5Ks and his 3Ks over the last 6 weeks. But we got some really fast lads over short distance. Philip Austin is quite quick.
Okay.
Brian Fox is quite quick. Liam Boland is quite quick. Yeah, we've quite a few, but
Good
over
few.
long distance, I'd give it to Jack Kennedy, I'd say.
Right, okay. Who would be the slowest?
Oh God, I'm up there. I'm definitely one of the slowest now. Like you said, touching 30 there now this year. I'm at the back of the pack these days, so I put myself back there these days.
Who would be the biggest whinger?
How long have you got, Valerie? Jesus. Kevin O'Halloran, by far and away the biggest whinger. Liam Boland in the close second, I'd say. Never happy. Never happy.
Always injured?
Ooh. Kevin O'Halloran likes to spend a bit of time on the physio bed. Other than that, I'm not too sure. We'll go with Holly for now.
Okay. Always late training, late to the bus for a match, late coming out of the dressing room.
He's the same lads popping up here the whole time. Liam Boland, never on time. Evan Comfort is rarely late as well. Never organises his lifts, even on match days. Like, you'd have to ring him and go back for him, and you'd have to wake him up some days. So he's probably up there with one of the lads who sleeps in a lot.
Most likely to go get a spray tan.
Evan Comfort, big into his fashion, big into his appearance in general. He's the only lad I know that gets a haircut once a week, Valerie. That's a fact.
I feel like this next question is going to be Evan as well. Who's most likely to get their eyebrows waxed? Be giving it to Evan?
Yeah, never thought about that one. Probably give it to him. Yeah.
Okay.
Now that you mentioned the salons, he was actually caught going into a tanning salon one day. There's proof.
Oh, lads,
Sorry, Evan.
He's going to kill you for that one. The worst dressed on the panel.
Worst dressed? God, I don't know. I don't know about worst dressed, but we've got a couple of lads who've awful taste in football boots. Philip Austin is a prime suspect. He comes out with some outrageous. He often bought a pair of boots for like 13 or 14 quid. They're scandalous. So I'll give it to him for now.
Flashy boots, but can they back them up was the question.
That's it.
Best dressed.
Oh, best dressed. Again, Comfort loves his style. I got to give it to him. He's very fashionable. Alan Manoli always dresses well as well. Rocky dress as well. Good few lads dress well now. I must say we're quite a well dressed squad. But yeah, I give it to Comfort. He likes his style.
Who would be most likely to go on Love Island?
Oh Jesus, I don't know. Emmett Maloney, I'd say, just to cause a bit of fuss. I'd say he'd shake things up a bit if he went on.
Emmett seems like the type to go. Alright, he does.
Yeah, he does.
The cheekiest on the pitch. Who would get into the most trouble?
Oh, who'd get into the most trouble? Jack Kennedy gets himself into a bit of trouble sometimes, verbally and physically. I can have a bit of a mouth on me myself when I get a little bit hot-headed. Okay. Things come out, but yeah, I'll give it to Jack Kennedy for now.
Right, okay, that was your teammates. There has a few questions coming in Instagram. Every week I put up some of the picture and let people send in questions on Instagram. Yeah. So, Owen Fitz says, your favourite moment playing for Tipperary?
We won the Munster Under-21 final in 2010 below Tralee. That was pretty good. That was the first time Tipperary broke through underage, and was just the year prior to Tip winning the minor All-Ireland in 2011. So that was a great year. Obviously 2016 was a fantastic year for us, getting to the All-Ireland semi-final, and I suppose beating Galway that year in the quarter-final in Croke Park was probably one of the best memories I have that day. Yeah, beating Galway in the quarter-final in 2016, I would say.
Lovely. Carol O'Connor said, tips for players who started late in senior.
Start late in senior, just work hard. it's pretty straightforward, really. Practice, and work hard. It's never too late. You'd see a lot of top class inter-county players now never played minor, never played 21s. So there's nothing wrong with starting late as long as you have the mentality and the work rate to go with it. It doesn't matter what age you start at. So that's what I would say. If you want to make it, believe in yourself and work hard.
Fair play. Kevin Hanley said I know Kevin's a big fan of Tipperary football. Any good films or shows you watched in lockdown?
The Last Dance, the documentary there with the Chicago Red Bulls is on at the moment. I think this week is like episode 9 or 10. Or
the last two.
The last two, yeah. That's been incredible. Great insight into like pro players and great insight into Michael Jordan and a couple of his teammates there. So that's very good. Other than that, I finished a lot of things. Ozark was good. Finished White Lines there yesterday. That's only alright, but yeah, definitely that documentary on the Chicago Red Bulls is one to watch. Yeah,
I think none of us want that to end, which the last two are out today, so it's a bit disgusting for all of us. Let's get one last question. So, Jerome Kelly said, your favourite GA player?
Ever. Wow. God, that's a tough one. I suppose, like, as a forward, it's hard to overlook the Gooch. Played against him a couple of times and just remember him from when I was even younger. I know he's not a million miles older than me, but just always remember him being, top class, especially when Kerry were at the top table there for years, and obviously they still are. But yeah, he was obviously one of the best forwards that has ever played the game. Similar Peter Canavan. I love Paul Galvin as well. Thought he was probably one of the best wing forwards of his time. Just an unbelievable lad at his job. So I would say the Gooch and Paul Galvin for me were two of my favourite players. Yeah, definitely.
Brilliant. Thank you so much for joining us this week. It's been great to have you on, and best of luck with the all leaving certs now. Hope they take it too easy on you when you give back your results to them.
I look after the boys, don't worry.
Thanks very much, Conor.
No problem, Valerie. Thank you.
Spin Southwest.